All right, this is the Algebra 1 Unit 3 Lesson 4 video over literal equations and formulas. And so a literal equation is an equation where it's mainly made up of unknown quantities or variables. And so these would be like formulas we use to find the area, volume, perimeter, and then in like chemistry and physics, other types of formulas we use in sciences to calculate different things. So when we talk about using algebra with literal equations, we're talking about being able to rearrange equations in the way that we've learned so far, even if we're not dealing with numbers. So for instance, we like here in front of us, like we have a list of formulas, and I might, for instance, know the volume of a rectangular prism, and I might know the length and the height, but I want to find the width. And so in order to do that, I would need to rearrange that so that the width is actually the thing that I'm calculating. And so that's what we're going to be doing in this lesson. So we're going to kind of do this a few different ways. The first thing they're going to do is they're going to give us information and ask us to find some missing value. And then we've got to figure out, first of all, what formula are we using? And then second of all, we need to rearrange that formula in order to find the thing that we're looking for. So I'm going to do a couple examples. These will be similar to the ones you see in your lesson. So let's say they said this. A square has a perimeter of 12 centimeters. What is the side length? All right, so if they were to give us this, we know that based on reading the problem, we're looking for the formula that goes with the perimeter of squares. So let's go hop over here and look in our formula chart, and there we have it. The area of a square is perimeter of a square rather. Perimeter of a square is 4s. So I'm going to go write that down. Perimeter of a square is 4 times s. And they want us to find the side length. So we need to first rearrange this so that s is what we have as the thing by itself. So this is a pretty basic one. If I'm going to do that, I'm going to need to get rid of this 4. It's 4 times s. So I'm going to divide 4 on both sides. And so I find out that s equals p divided by 4. Once I've rearranged it, I now know already that the perimeter is 12. So I'm going to take the formula I just got. I'm going to say s equals 12 divided by 4, which means that my s is equal to 3. And this is pretty much what you're going to be doing in this lesson. You're going to be taking this information and you're going to solve the formula for the value that you are interested in, and then you're going to plug everything else in and solve for that number. So let's say I have another one. Let's say that it said the volume of a rectangular prism is 68 centimeters cubed. Actually going to change that value. Let's say it's actually going to be 96 centimeters cubed. The length is 3 centimeters. and the width is 2 centimeters. What is the height of the prism? Okay, so first thing we need to do is find our formula. So we're going to jump over to our lesson, and they actually gave us this one up above, and it's right here. V equals L times W times H. V equals L times W times H. So first things first, we know we're looking for the height. So we're going to rearrange this equation for height. So in order to do that, I need to divide both length and width from both sides. When I do that, these cancel out, leaving me with H equals volume divided by length times width. And so I've rearranged that equation. And now I go and I plug in what I know. I know that the volume is 96. The length is 3. And the width is 2. 3 times 2. 96 divided by 3 times 2 is 6. And so then the height is equal to 96 divided by 6, which is I think 17. Actually, let me go actually calculate that to make sure I get this right. 96 divided by 6. So what we do, 96 divided by 6 is 16. Right? So hop back over to there, and H, so 96 divided by 6 is 16 centimeters. And that would be the answer for H. So that's pretty much what you're doing. We'll do one more example together, and then I'll let you try the ones out in the unit. Says this: a rectangle has an area of 30 inches squared and a length of 6 inches. What is the width? Okay, we clearly are looking at rectangle area. So we hop over to our lesson, and jumping over here, I see that rectangle area is right here. Area equals length times width. So I hop over here. Area equals length times width. I know that I'm looking for the width, so I'm going to solve this for W. So I divide both sides by L, and I get that W equals area divided by length. Oops, not T, L. So now I'm ready to plug in my values. I know that the area is equal to 30 and the length is equal to 6. So I put width equals 30 divided by 6, which is 5. And so 5 inches is the width of that rectangle. So again, the basic process is find the correct formula, rearrange that formula for the thing that you're looking for. In this case, it was width. And then plug in the values you have and solve for the thing you're looking for. So that's one type of problem in this lesson. The other type is just basically rearranging. So I'm just going to do a few different examples and show you what I mean. Some of them are just like this. You have a literal equation and you need to rearrange it for a different value than what's currently there. So you have M here, but they want you to solve for K. So you have to rearrange to solve. So I'm going to do a few examples of these just to kind of get you started. So let's say they said solve for P. And the formula was area equals, or not area, A equals P RT. So we just use our algebraic rules we're going to divide by anything being multiplied times p. So we're going to divide by r and t, and we're going to do it to both sides. Those cancel, leaving me with p equals a divided by rt. And that's pretty much it. So a lot of these will be that simple. Here's another one. Solve for a in the following formula. A plus b divided by c equals x. Okay, so this one's a little bit more complicated. There's a lot more going on in this. But we know we want to get a by itself. So if we want to do that, we're going to start by getting rid of this c. We're going to multiply c on both sides. So that's going to cancel this out, leaving me with a plus b equals x times c. And then I'm going to need to get rid of the b. So I'll subtract b from both sides. I'm doing the opposite. That cancels, leaving with a equals xc minus b. So you can see the rules of algebra still apply. I'm not doing anything different than what I was doing when we're solving for x equals a number. I'm just moving around the letters to solve. All right, so in our next one, we have solve for m. And it says s equals 3m plus t. And I want to solve for m. First things first, I'm going to subtract t from both sides. I'm going to get s minus t equals 3m. And then I need to get rid of that m. So I'm going to divide both sides by 3. And then the final step, I have m equals s minus t divided by 3. All right. Let's do one more example. Let's say I have the following. Solve for a. And I have y equals ax squared plus c. Okay, solving for a. So again, I'm going to start with this c. Get rid of the c first. And I'm going to end up with y minus c equals ax squared. The x is being multiplied by a, so I'm going to divide that x squared. I'm going to divide the whole thing. That's going to cancel. And so I end up with a equals y minus c over x squared. And we're done. So a lot of these can look a little intimidating at first, but if you just follow the basic rules that we've already been working with, a lot of them will be pretty manageable for you. So that's pretty much it. One quick clarification down here. There should not be an equal sign after the y here, so you need to rearrange ax plus by equals c and solve for y. So forget this first y and the equal sign there. It's only the last part of that equation. All right, that's it for this